Hi, how's everybody doing? It's Paul from Magpie 24/7 back again. We're not in the van, we're not in the usual surroundings. We're out and up in Edinburgh at the moment. Apologies if there's any slight wind or car noise, but on the outskirts of Edinburgh at the moment. But the games are coming so thick and fast at the moment. I thought I'd take the opportunity to do a preview for tomorrow's huge mammoth game down at Southampton. It's the first leg of the League Cup semi-final, and to me it's the biggest game our football club has played in many years. We've had obviously some great games, some fantastic victories, but this is absolutely huge. It's for an opportunity to take on either Manchester United or Nottingham Forest in a final at Wembley. And to be honest, I think no matter who it is, we're going to stand an absolutely fantastic chance of getting that monkey off our back, the first trophy in my lifetime. I have waited so long for this. The debate, of course, over the weekend, obviously apart from the game, has been, what would you prefer, Champions League or a League Cup victory? And for me, it's always going to be silverware. You want silverware in the cabinet. You want those moments. You want those experiences. So for me, it's put all and everything into this game. Every last drop of sweat, blood, tears, everything has to go into it. I personally think anything that we get down there, if we can get a draw, if even a narrow defeat, even say it's a 1-0 or a 2-1 to Southampton, I'll still think and I'll still back us to turn that around. Inside the packed St James's Park with the atmosphere. A week later, they've got another game to sandwich in between the two games. Of course, we have not. So that second game is going to be huge because the preparation that we've got, the extra time that we've got compared to Southampton, could be the deciding factor in this game. But look, I'm confident going down there. I'm confident going anywhere at the moment, because it just doesn't seem to face the lads at all. We're on our best run for undefeated games in the Premier League. I think it's up to 15 now. We're on our best run ever. The defence looks absolutely as tight as a duck's fucking arse. You know what I mean? We do not look like conceding. So even if we do have an off day going forward, we don't score, you're always confident of at least getting a point, in the league. You're always confident of not conceding. And if we're not conceding, you're always going to be still in that game when it comes to that all-important and all-crucial second leg at St James's Park a week later that myself and Carl are going to be at. The tickets came recently, I was over the fucking moon. They're under lock and key, secretly guarded. They are at the moment. But the game at the weekend, with this one on the horizon, it was always, I felt, going to be a tricky game. But look, we went down there, we continued the undefeated run going. We should have won. We had the opportunities to win. Callum Wilson still fighting his way back to form and fitness after the World Cup. He was ill over in Qatar. Eddie Howson, he's barely trained, so that explains why his goals have dried up. He hasn't scored, I think, since the end of October was his last goal. And the question marks, of course, are going to come over this game. And do you freshen things up? We're obviously playing two games so close together, or do you persevere with the same personnel, which Eddie Howe has done for the majority of this season? But you've got Alan St-Maximin, and of course you've got Alexander Isak, who is scratching and chomping at the bit to get in and get involved. It's going to be a difficult one. Knowing Eddie as we do, he's probably going to keep the same team unless there's injuries or really bad fatigue. We're probably going there with the same team, but you could easily now, I think, play Isak up top and give him that start and just let him show what he can do, because we all saw when he was fully fit and firing down at Anfield what this lad is capable of. He's capable of special moments, magic moments. It could just be, if we can keep it tight and one moment of magic, get that goal, if we can escape down there with a 1-0, something like that, back to St James's Park. I really do think it's almost a formality, because I just feel so confident at the moment going to St James's Park that we will win. We will find a way. There will be something. And I just think with them having that other cup game in the middle, it is advantage Newcastle all day of the week. So I've got a feeling, especially after Bruno made the last game, that it'll still be unchanged. I think they'll sit behind Wilson, back Wilson, and show him that support. And obviously Callum Wilson will want to repair that also desperately. So it could be, again, that could be a good motivational tool to be able to use for Callum Wilson to get a goal And I just can't wait. I cannot wait for this game to start. I really can't. So I've got a feeling it's going to be Nick Pope in goal. Across the back, Trippier. He was injured 2 games ago, but he looked absolutely fine down at Selhurst Park. So Trippier on the right-hand side. Fabian Schär, Sven Botman, the partnership in the middle. What an absolute great partnership they are turning out to be. Dan Burn at left back. Matt Targett's still about another 2 to 3 weeks away from being involved, as is John Joe Shelby actually. In front of them, Bruno in the middle, Sean, Joe Willock, Miggy one side, who again didn't have his best game, but again he'll be looking to get back on the goals, no doubt about that, and he can produce moments of magic certainly. And then on the other side, Joe Linton. Personally, I think I'd have been tempted to pull Joe Linton in the middle, probably drop maybe Sean Longstaff, play Joe Linton in the middle, and play maybe Maxi out there or Isaac out there and play Callum Wilson up top. But I think Eddie will stick with it. I think he'll play Joe Linton out on the wide left and up top Callum Wilson. So that again will mean that Isaac in the centre on the bench, and that's fantastic. In the second half, when their legs are tiring, minds are a little bit all over the place, to be able to bring that quality on again. We're talking about fine margins. It could just be that is the route, that is the avenue that gets us through to 1 foot in the final. If we can get a victory down there, if we can get any sort of advantage down there, then it's certainly advantage Newcastle. 1 foot in the final, and then we just have to finish the job off at St James's Park, and it'll be a magical night. I can't wait to sample that atmosphere. I really can't. Looking forward to that majorly. But yeah, to me, game of the season. But let me know what you think about that. Cup v league position, what would you prefer? I mean, you could be saying you're greedy and you want both, and I think we're well capable of doing that, certainly as well if we're strengthening and we're going to replace Wood. But to me, the priority, the single most important thing, is to get into that final and give ourselves an opportunity to win, to win the cup and to qualify in doing so at the same time for European competition, and that will be majorly important. Again, talking about attracting talent and fresh blood in the summer, because that's when our major recruitment is going to be done, not over January, when they've already said that they don't like to do real business in January. It'll be over the summer. So if we've got European football, if we've got a trophy in the trophy cabinet finally, that's going to help attract a higher calibre of player for sure. So let me know what you think about all of that down below. The team, who would you start with? Would it be unchanged? Would you make changes? Would you bring Isaac in? Would you bring the Saint in, maybe wide left, or would you bring them in up top? Any other changes? Jacob Murphy, perhaps, I've heard mumblings about for Miggy Almiron to version things up and to keep Miggy on his toes. What do you think about that one? I'm not as sure personally myself. I think Miggy will come good. I think he can produce and he will get the goals. He's still his best season for us regardless. So let me know all that down below in the comments. I want to jump back in and get warm because it's absolutely fucking freezing. I'm freezing my fucking balls off here. It's that cold. And I want to get ready to head south. Ready, for the next chapter in this absolutely fantastic season that we are having. So in the meantime, take care, subscribe to Magpie 24/7, and I'll speak to you later.